Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Meet Me in the Center. My name is Andrew. Yes, you read this title right. I am holding men to account in this video because I think this is a problem that men have a large part to play in. I'll explain what I mean in a second. But just before I start, I really believe when it comes to men and women's issues and a lot of the things we're seeing in like the dating marketplace and stuff like that, they're not one side being, causing all the problems. Women are causing problems in certain areas, men are causing problems in other areas. I think it's a combination of the two. I don't think it's just women or just men. I don't know why people today think we have to draw the line, women are the problem, men are the problem. There's no in between. No, both sides are causing problems. Get over yourself. Nothing is black and white in this universe other than black and white. The exception that proves the rule, by the way. So when women complain, for instance, that men aren't marrying them anymore and men are just sleeping with them and moving on, men kind of chuckle because they kind of realize something, right? Like, if these women who the men aren't settling down with anymore withheld sex from men would have no choice but to marry them, settle down with them, and then get the sex. That's how that would work. Women could change that behavior in men if enough women chose to do that. So okay, men, by that logic, you ready for this one? Men are complaining that OF is causing women to do things that and there aren't enough good women out there and so on and so forth, and they can't find women that aren't OF models and stuff like that. As far as I know, the majority of women aren't OF models at this point, but we'll put that aside. Let's say that most women were OF models even, okay? Men. You're complaining about it, and yet most men, a lot of men, not most men, but a lot of men have subscriptions to OF. Now, I personally have never had a subscription on OF. I've never even been to the website. But if you're paying them to do it, why wouldn't they be doing it? If men stopped paying for OF, why would women be doing OF? The answer is they wouldn't, and OF would go out of business very quickly. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone. I don't think this is controversial to say that most subscriptions on OF are men. There are some women, but it's a very, very minute percentage compared to the amount of men. So stop paying for it, and the problem solves itself. Wow, crazy. I get it. I know you're desperate. Most women aren't even giving you the time of day. But here's the thing. Those women that aren't giving you the time of day, well, at least some of them are aware that you're desperate. And so those women that aren't giving you the time of day are then saying, hey, I won't give you the time of day, but if you pay me money, I'll show you something. Who's the sucker in that relationship? Is it the woman or is it you? To me, it's you, as the man. They won't give you time of day, and yet you're paying for them to do that. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm against hypocrisy in all cases. I hate the hypocrisy that is created in today's society. I'll give you a couple examples. Feminists claim that they want to be equal. They want men and women to be equal, and yet they'll only fight for women's rights and ignore when men are less equal or not equal to women. For instance, most feminists don't care about divorce laws, even though they benefit women way more than they benefit men. One of the reasons men aren't marrying anymore, by the way, are the divorce laws. Another one is, women giving access to sex without having to be married. But don't say you're a feminist and you want equality between the genders, or the sexes, I should say, if you're not willing to fight for the male stuff that are inadequate too. Now, I'm not saying this is all feminists. I actually know a feminist who is currently fighting to get divorce laws changed more in favor of men. I'm gonna talk about divorce in another video, but I do think it is if as a man I would not marry anyone right now. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So there's hypocrisy in that. There's hypocrisy in men complaining that, well, I want a woman who has few bodies, and yet they're the ones that are having relations with multiple women, driving up their body count. Now, I get it. That's mainly the top 20% of men that are doing that, because the average man in today's dating marketplace gets no action whatsoever. It's brutal for men. That's why a lot of men are desperate and turning towards corn and OF. The problem I have with that stuff is that, well, like I said before, it makes you the sucker. Because there are some women out there that just think, oh, I can make money off this, and that's great. There are women actively that know that you're desperate and are taking full advantage. It's like those women that also will, go on the first dates with men just so that they don't have to pay for food that day. By the way, those are the ladies. If you're complaining that men are changing how they do first dates and they're not taking you to expensive restaurants anymore, those women are to blame. Because we don't want to be taken advantage of. So we'd rather spend a little bit less, filter out the women that are, like trying to take advantage, that are gold diggers, that are stuff like that. And so we'll take you for a coffee and we'll go for a walk or a hike or something like that. Personally, I believe that's a better first date anyway. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah. So. There's hypocrisy everywhere, and I stop the hypocrisy, people. Come on now. I'll talk about me right now. I've never had OF. I've never even been to the website. I've never had a subscription. I watched Korn for a very short time in university, but I realized something fairly quick about it, and it just kind of turned me off to the whole thing. That whole industry is fantasy. It's a movie. Do you think Thor is actually fighting Thanos in real life? Then why do you think that that's real life too? Unfortunately, a lot of men, because it's so everywhere, find it very early on, and they think that that's what reality is. They think that's how it looks in real life. Unfortunately, it does not. And they don't know any better because they've never had any to know. And it actually has, there was a study I was reading that's fascinating, but watching Korn can actually change the structure in your brain, and it can significantly affect you, even down to like the certain chemicals you release at certain times. That's crazy. But in a sense, it makes sense. It's an addiction like anything else can be. It's some people are addicted to food. That would be a me problem. Some people are addicted to alcohol. Some people are addicted to drugs. Some people are addicted to corn. Now, if you are, don't be ashamed for that. It can happen to anyone for, like I said, any of the list and more that I've mentioned already. Seek help, get yourself better. There have been accounts of men that have to go on and watch it 5 times a day. Think about all the time you're wasting. That's to me, that's like I could just do so much in that amount of time. I don't know. Make yourself the best you can, and quite honestly, stop supporting OF, stop supporting Korn. If we didn't support it, it wouldn't be so a problem for us. That's just my thoughts. You may disagree. Cool if you do. Cool if you agree with me. I'll see you in the next video next week. I'll be talking about a bunch of smaller topics in those videos. So until then, see ya.